Since the start of COVID, we are still experiencing more families looking for nannies than there are nannies looking for work. So what can we do about it? And how can you find a nanny to work for your family? If we haven't met before, I'm Michelle Kelsey, founder of the Nanny Solution by Nannies on Call. I bring you videos occasionally to understand the nanny industry and get the best nanny for your family. Let's figure out this nanny staffing issue. So what is the problem? Obviously, at the beginning of COVID, lots of things changed in lots of industry. And like I said, the nanny industry is no different. So let's start with why I think there's a nanny shortage still, even though things have gotten back to normal. We've talked to many nannies during the last few years to find out why they're no longer in the industry. And here are a few of the things they've told us. During COVID, they took the opportunity to go back to school and start a new career. So they are no longer working in the nanny industry. So we lost quite a few nannies to other industries. Second of all, the school board and daycares are hiring like mad. I see advertisements all over the place and they are desperate for staff as well. So many nannies who started working as nannies during COVID have gone back to daycare centers and to schools. So we've lost those nannies in the nanny industry. The third reason is nannies during COVID weren't coming to Canada on working holiday visas. Now that's starting to change. We are starting to see more nannies on working holiday visas. But before, we saw a lot of English, Irish, Australian nannies come to Canada to work. And hopefully there'll be more of those coming. But there has definitely been a lag, and the government is very slow right now at processing visas. So we're hearing from some nannies that they're just waiting on their visas. So we'll just have to be a little more patient for some of those nannies to hit the market again. When there was a huge demand for nanny service when daycares and schools shut down during COVID, some families hired and have retained the same nannies. So there are many nannies that have been in long-term positions in the last 2+ years now, and they have no intention of leaving because that family treated them fantastic through COVID, and the families locked them in. So a lot of the professional nannies took jobs and are still in those jobs. So that's a brief overview of some of the things we've seen about why there's labor shortages in the nanny industry. But what can you do about it? That doesn't help you if you're looking for a nanny, right? You need to find a solution, and parents are stressed and overwhelmed. You're working long hours, you're tired, you need help at home. So what can you do about that? We can help. Let me show you how. The most obvious thing and the first thing we suggest is paying your nanny fairly. Nanny rates have gone up over the last couple of years, and it will really depend on your job description and what you're looking for in a nanny. But nanny rates here in Canada go from anywhere from $25 an hour to $35, $40 plus an hour. So depending on the job description, if it's a 9-to-5 job with one child, you might be able to pay on the lower end. But if you need weekends or flexible schedule or evenings, 11 a.m. start to a 7 p.m. finish, you're going to have to pay more money. So think about that when you're sitting down to do your budget. Sorry about that. The exposure got a little blasted out there while the sun came out, but we're back. Paying your nanny a fair and above average wage may help you get a nanny if you're desperate to find someone. The other thing is, nannies often don't get medical or dental expenses. So if you're in a position that you can offer that to nannies, that will set your job apart from other families. Something else you can do if you don't have access to provide medical or dental extended plans is that you can offer additional sick days. Often families feel that you're paying the nanny to stay home sick, and that's not fair to you. But the reality is most nannies get sick because your children are sick. So really, they should be compensated for having to stay home after they've caught an illness from your children. So can you provide extra sick days so that they have that benefit of not feeling pressured to come to work when they're not feeling well? And finally, COVID sick days. That's come up a lot. I know depending on where you live, there may be regulations or COVID sick pay, but if you can offer in your contract COVID sick days, that will make the nanny feel very secure. I heard a story from a nanny this week where she told me that she got COVID and she was living with the family. And because she had COVID and the family didn't, she felt it best to put herself in a hotel to isolate away from the family. And the family refused to pay her during that time. So not only did they not pay her, but then she had the hotel expenses and her home, she left her home to protect them. Take a moment, think about it from the other person's side and see what you can do to make them feel safe and secure in their job position so they don't go looking elsewhere and they stay with your family long term. It will also help you if you present this in the beginning to nannies. They will be more interested in working for your family versus another family. Nanny jobs have changed in the last couple of years. More and more parents are working from home, and more nannies are complaining to us that it is incredibly difficult to work when the parents are home. It's not the nannies mind being watched or being overseen, I guess, when they're in their job. That's what parents think, but that's not the problem. The problem is parents constantly stepping in, parents overruling what the nanny has just said to the children. If the nanny says, no, you can't have a cookie, and then the parent comes in and says, of course you can have a cookie. It's very difficult for the nannies to do their job. And so many nannies are not taking jobs where the parents work from home. So if you do work from home, make sure you have a plan. I go into my office and I close my door and I only come out at lunch for an hour, or children can't bother me when I'm at home and at work and they're with the nanny all day. Whatever it is, set some guidelines, and nannies will truly appreciate that. And if you can explain that to nannies in the very beginning, when you're first interviewing them, when you're first hiring them, and they feel secure in the job and they feel like this is a great opportunity, I guarantee they will take your position. The key, like any job in any industry, is to sell your position. So you have to have the best job with the best benefits that really sell your family to this nanny, the reason she'll want to work for your family versus another family. And too many families have the expectation that the nanny should be thankful for the job offer. And that's just not the way it is anymore. The professional nannies are looking for the best jobs in the market, and they have their choice of many. As a family and as a parent, stand out and offer the nanny the best job that you can. See you next time.